These tutorials are going to be what I do. It's not necessarily the perfect way. It's not necessarily the way the game's designed for you to do it. It's just the way I do things and how I think I can be quite successful in doing my own things. I'm just basically going to teach you what I do, you know? So if you think it's wrong, fair enough. If you don't, then great. You can feel free to use the techniques that I use. Because for me, the way I play in FIFA is quite successful. I win most of my matches. And that's all you want, really, isn't it? You don't have to do everything by the book. So as you can tell in the title, the first episode is going to be about corners. So let me talk about corners just really quick before we get into the tutorial. For me, FIFA 13, the corners are the hardest to take, but if you do them correctly, they are the most overpowered out of all of the FIFA games in the series. For example, in FIFA 12, they were really easy to take, but they seem to be quite average in terms of scoring ability. You know, so sometimes they just would not create anything, and then sometimes they would do really well. In FIFA 13, if you get it right, you can almost score every single time. But getting it right is very difficult because they're quite difficult to take in this game. The way the power-up works and curve and the way players feel so different on the ball when taking the corners, it varies so much. So all I can do is give you the techniques that I know. So we're in game at the moment. I'm playing as Arsenal in the practice arena just because I've got Podolski as my menu guy. But anyway, you can see we're playing the practice match thing. We're doing some set piece corners from the right side. We'll do some left ones as well. So the first rule that I want to mention is if you've got a right-sided corner, use a player with a right foot. If you've got a left-sided corner, use someone with a left foot. With their left foot as their strong foot, that is. So right-footed for right corners, left-footed for left corners. That's kind of like the base rule I use. If you haven't got a left-footed player in your team to take the left-sided corners, which I think is unlikely, or if they're just absolutely bad in your team, then yeah, stick with the right foot. I'll teach you how to do that as well. But the first the first corner I'm going to teach you guys is aiming at the goalkeeper. This is my most common one. So if I'm in the middle of a career mode match and I just want to whip in a quick corner, this is what I'll do. So you'll often start in this kind of position. You'll be aiming at your players. What you want to do is you want to pretty much level your ball. You see the little radar at the bottom. If you've got your radar hidden, I strongly suggest you unhide it because this is a technique that I've devised on my own, I guess. You can see the ball is in the middle of that radar, right? It's in the middle line. If you can aim that middle crossed halfway line towards the keeper, you're pretty much aiming straight at them. It's kind of like a marker for me. And then what you want to do is 3 bars of power, 2.5 to 3 bars, I would say. And you want to do curl top left diagonally. I will put a little diagram on the video if you're confused. You want to do top left diagonally and just do it quickly like this, about 2.5 bars, and you can see that is a really, really nice corner. What you want to aim for is between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. So where there's too many blue vests. The bald guy with the blue vest, that is where you want to plant the ball. And the best way to do that is to aim at the keeper. But now, I need to explain something else. Walcott, who's taking this free kick, corner, sorry, I always call him free kick for some reason. You'll notice that his power is 74, free kick accuracy 66, curve 66. What you want with penalty takers, I found, is 70 or more for this to really work. We've got Santi Cazorla here, I don't know why that's disappeared. We've got Santi Cazorla here, who's really great at free kicks, and you'll notice that already his stance has changed, the players have moved position. It's all based on your stats. So we'll try the goalkeeper one here again. So you want to line up that halfway line with the goalkeeper, and then you want to do 2.5 bars to 3, and it's a perfect corner. Just look at that, almost scored. What it is when you aim at the keeper, there's just enough curve to whip it behind the defenders on top of your players' heads. That is all you want to do. Another technique I've devised is kind of like, you see the corner flag sticking up? You want to put that with the furthest away defender. Now the reason that helps is if you just do a couple of bars of power without doing any curve, it'll go to the back of the box like that. And quite often it gives your players a chance to adjust. We'll try it again. So there's the last defender. Match him up with the corner flag. A couple of bars of power. And you'll see another perfect cross. That was literally perfect. So what I'm trying to say here is you don't have to curve it. You don't absolutely have to curve it. What you'll find with the curving, if I line up with the goalkeeper again, is it just gets it behind the defenders like that. And it puts them on the back foot. It gives you a really great chance to score. You can see every single corner I've taken so far, I've almost scored it. Now there is another technique that I use, and it's called the light chip. That's what I like to call it. I've called it that in my videos where I light chip a corner. What you want to do is aim at the last defender again. And what you're going to do this time is just aim your left stick just press down. You just want to hold down. I'll do a diagram again, and then you want to do 2 bars, maybe 1 bar if they're closer, your teammates are closer, but 1 to 2 bars should be enough. So hold down as you take it like this, 2 bars of power, and what it'll do is it'll loft it in the air, and then you can head it back in. Now, heading it back into the box gives your players, again, a chance to adjust, and sometimes they will be completely unmarked, and then you can volley it into the goal. If you do 1 bar of power like that, it'll go closer to the goal like that, and quite often, again, if you've got a really tall player like I've got here, Mertesacker, he will always get the ball, and it's absolutely fantastic. So aim at the last defender, 1 bar of power, or 1 and a bit there, and just hold down, and you can see it always goes to the near post, and whether you've got Rude, Mertesacker there, 9 times out of 10, they're going to actually make a header. Now, if we switch over to the left side, I think it is, hang on a second. So now we're on the left side, and it's the same rules, they all apply. So what you want to do is find a left-footed player. I don't know why it's not letting me bring up the menu, hang on. Let's just whip this one in. I need to bring up the menu. It wouldn't let me do it for some reason. Let's see if this works, there we go. So what you want to do is find a left-footed player. Luckily I've got Podolski, but if you look down your team, you should have at least 2 or 3 players in your team that are left-footed. We're going to go with Podolski, and you can see his curve is 80, free kick actually only 71, but his power is 91. So what you need to do... Oh, bloody hell. Apparently I ran out of time. Let's just whip that one in. What you need to do is you need to adjust your corners based on what you see their stats. Now, because Podolski's got a lot more power, you don't need to put so much power on it. So, again, I'm going to aim at the keeper here, and we're going to do top right diagonal curve with a couple of bars of power. So you want to swing it out that way, okay? So we're going to aim it at the keeper, 3 bars or so, whip it in, and that is literally, again, a perfect corner. If I won the header, I probably would have scored that. And it's just the same techniques. You know, this time I'm going to aim at the last defender there. We're going to do about 2 bars of power and hold down. And again, it just plants it on top of someone's head, and it's an easy score. And that's how I do my corners pretty much, guys. There's no, like, genius behind it. All you need to do is look at the stats of your player and then adjust your curve, your power, accordingly. It's as simple as that. You can do the power free kick. I don't tend to use it in FIFA 13. It was much better in 12. But that's where you kind of aim it in the empty bit of space and just push forward with the left stick and do full power, like 3 bars. And it'll just smash it into the net, complete no curve. Not in the net. It'll smash into the box with no curve. And sometimes it would work if the keeper didn't come out, you see. But in FIFA 13, I've noticed the keeper comes out much quicker. So let's just go through them all one more time. So you've got aiming at the goalkeeper with the halfway line on the radar, about 2 to 3 bars, and top right or top left diagonal curve. You can see Mertesacker almost scoring again there, coming off the bar. And then you've got the other one, which is switched to Podolski again. Aim at the last defender, and you want to hold down and do 1 to 2 bars of power, and it'll just sit it in the air. That was a bit of a bad one, if I'm honest. It's just about finding consistency, you know? And it really is as simple as that. I have one tip for doing them online as well, so if I get Podolski again. If you're online, what I would do... part of being online with someone and playing a head-to-head match is distractions. When you're taking corners, free kicks, you want to make sure he's not thinking. You know, make sure he doesn't, select a defender and mark your tallest player. What you want to do is hold L2 and call your second player, and that will distract him. So when you're doing that, take the corner like I've said, and then sometimes he won't be able to react as fast as he'd like to, and bang, he hasn't been able to select the right player, and then bang, you've scored a goal. So really, that is all I've got for this episode, guys. Online, it's exactly the same. It does work better online, I found. I think there's something to do with the online mode. Headers are just a bit more overpowered than they are on the offline mode. But again, just keep practicing. You'll get there in the end. And, let me know if this technique's helped you. It doesn't have to be something that's, like, purposely designed in the game. Like, you don't have to use curve if you don't want to. You can just whip it in like that. The problem is when you don't curve it, the defenders have more chance of getting it, Right-footed players, I said I'd go over that, so I'll do that before we end the video here. If you're taking if you're on the left side and you're taking it with a right-footed player, or if you're on the right side and taking it with a left-foot player, the best way I found to do it is aiming it at the penalty spot or just to the right of it. It doesn't work as well, which is why I say use a left-footed for a left corner and a right-footed for a right corner. But if you aim it at the penalty spot or just to the right of it like that, and then do the 3 bars, 2 to 3 bars, and then whip it in with some diagonal curve, quite often you'll find someone. I think the problem with Cazorla is he's got a lot of curve, so you just need to aim out just that little bit more. 2.5 bars of power, bit of diagonal curve, and there you can see it lands on his head. So that's the corners tutorial, guys. Let me know in the comments below, what would you like me to do next? Do you want free kicks? Do you want... And also let